Fellow Ghanaians, I am obliged by the Constitution of the state to state the state of the nation in an address every other year. But as has been the practice, I will tell you the achievements of my government. Yes, I mean, who said State of the Nation address must state everything? No way. So I'm coming to bore you with a long-grained perfumed English that will leave you wondering, hey, and Ghana, they say, but of course, this one will be evidence-based. This is Backpage on Citi TV. We are live on DSTV channel 363. My name is Kudah. Mr. Speaker, this week I am not happy at all. But before I tell you what makes me unhappy, let me say that I'm impressed at the disciples of the dead goat who just did what they know how to do best. Mr. Speaker, even though I am smiling at the walkout of the minority challenge, I think I felt my mood small. But shout outs to the majority who gave me some serious morale.
They must have a real vested in the old one.
Very vested.
Very vested.
Mr. Speaker, my party and I know the nature of the task before us on the 7th of December, and that is to occupy all DC. That's our task.
Mr. Speaker, it's obvious Ghanaians didn't vote out the dead goat and his ilk for nothing. Sometimes classic maturity are hard to buy. Now, Mr. Speaker, I mean, it's expensive, you know what I'm saying? But interestingly, Mr. Speaker, according to sources, members of the minority were hiding in their cars and offices, monitoring what is going on. They managed to come out of their hideouts.
Our reason, fundamentally, is that the democracy is dear to us, its future dear to us, and the people of Ghana expects the dividends of the democracy. And we consider President Nana Akufo-Addo an eminent threat to the sustenance of the democracy in some of his actions. Since becoming president, Nana Akufo-Addo has conducted affairs of state with some kind of tyranny and authoritarianism. We refuse as a minority that we will not be that generation of citizens that will show apathy to those open threats to the sustenance of multi-party constitutional democracy in our country.
Mr. Speaker, Dr. Baumia has a word for the minority.
Hey, Asemo.
Anyway, back to why I have not been too happy these days. I woke up to news stories of a certain young man telling the whole world that I have failed the fight against Galamsey. He is going to petition the UN to strip me of my enviable UN SDG co-chair advocate position. I was annoyed. Mr. Speaker, can you imagine?
The NDC hereby serves notice that in the coming days, we shall petition the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, to revoke the appointment of President Akufo-Addo as co-chair of the SDG advocates. Because clearly, President Akufo-Addo has failed to show genuine commitment to the fight against illegal mining and the protection of our environment in his own backyard.
Mr. Speaker, can you just imagine that? I mean, if I didn't remind them of their failed efforts in my State of the Nation, we cry, and say.
When we came into office in January 2017, Galamsey activities were rampant in many parts of our country. Our lands, forests, and river bodies were being systematically degraded and polluted without any care. And this had been the case for several years. And indeed, the previous NDC government had given up the fight against Galamsey. We determined that this was an intolerable situation, and we owed it to generations yet unborn to tackle the problem and save our environment.
But Mr. Speaker, what worries me most is that the Ghana Citi, is the best performing currency against the US dollar in the whole world. Mr. Speaker, the whole world, though. Thanks to the Sementia Intelligent Digital Aboboya Economic Management Team led by my beloved Dijimia. But Mr. Speaker, this record, honestly, is unprecedented. Now, so nobody is talking about it. It was just a news flash and that was the end. Ghana media, look, I can't keep myself. See, all through the weekend, Mr. Speaker, I don't know if it was planned or if the dramatic attempt by that small boy, Devil, to walk on River Pra because of Galamsey has made the river so thick. I don't know. But suddenly, the media has re-intensified their bullets at me, basically accusing me of failing to nip Galamsey in the bud, despite all the support my government has enjoyed from the advocacy. I really buried my head in embarrassment listening to the litany of reports, especially this one, but the guy that said he's afraid of his life. To be honest, Mr. Speaker, it's sad. Sad as it is, this one got me laughing small.
Sometimes I even fear my life. I fear my life in a sense that when you press too hard, people think you are becoming a stampede for their means of getting money into their pocket. Therefore, you even become a target for assassination. Because I have suffered that threatening before. I have talked to the media. You see, I even organized a press conference to address our grievances, and the issue was taken to the media. A whole lot of who have we not informed him?
I feel my life. Anyway, seriously, Mr. Speaker, people are questioning my appreciation of how deeply Galamsey has eaten into the destiny of the country before pledging to put my presidency on the line. But what they don't know is that as a politician, this is an election year. You see, and Mr. Speaker, party Hinska, Kudah, as a gakash, l'argent, you understand? So even though in the media we talk about how serious we are fighting Galamsey menace and all that, on the ground, party people are in charge of excavators deeply embedded in the womb of the nation's water bodies, destroying to the last decimal point so that we can make money. You understand?
During Citi News' visit to some sites, some persons were seen engaging in mining activities while the waste was being discharged into the rivers. This is a vast land where the miners were seen engaging in their activities without any reclamation. Mining equipment such as excavators were seen on the sites.
Akudisi no na bi na ekoka no anti ase dia ya na betu ya hofo wati ase enu duru ho a ane ne no bika koso no ntra ni krom anim supa na enso entra num sufon.
Mr. Speaker, it's quite heartbreaking listening to Ghanaians complain about how the mining activities of these illegal miners are affecting their lives. To be honest, it's heartbreaking.
First name when one ya nom ya di dware ya di bibia na boyen ha. Se se de ya ni to ka yensam e wo sa blemu ada ha. Jump money to him ha ye bla ya blensu hu no. Almost circles, no, ye know so ya she.
And so no, who told you Kumuka, and be from you. Do ye namona, no, now, Munina, I say. Now, the two me, ye cry for a coffee more, and who near your fool, the new sensu near Sanum. Bokon and Sunu, Ahum, Poto, Sanuma, and ye.
But you see, my Ghanaian people, you should understand that you can't always blame me and my men all the time when some of you, local people, front for businessmen and women in the cities and even foreigners in some situations. Also, some of the chiefs too are very complicit in this. But they clean their lips and pretend they are innocent. Politician, dear. Mr. Speaker, honestly speaking, long before Sami Jemfi attempted to cross River Pra the Airbad way, in fact, I was expecting him to start his press conference with the iconic Airbad opener. Behind me is River Pra. But of course, he was full of content. But like I'm saying, long before that thing he did, I was thinking of sincerely telling Ghanaians that, look, even though you guys think we have failed, at least we have done better than John Mahama. And in fact, all other presidents. I also wanted to add that, Charlie, it may not have gone as we all expected, but you, dear, give me 4 more years to do more. Whether more devastating impact or more solutions. I can't admit in an election year that we have failed. It will be suicidal.
It was no longer small-scale mining, and it was certainly no longer local community mining. When we saw the influx of foreigners into the most rural, isolated, and densest of forests. It was no longer local community mining when rivers, hitherto considered as sacred, were being abused and polluted. We started with the banning of all small-scale mining, and after about a year of the campaign, we made some progress, and some rivers showed signs of coming back to life. The Honorable House also did its part by amending the Mining Act to raise the penalties for illegal mining and prohibiting foreign nationals from participating in any way in small-scale mining.
So, Mr. Speaker, this Galamsey thing, it has helped me refresh my memory on how we, politicians, can put our interest ahead of the nation.
There are some success stories. So please, let's not take this very serious issue of the menace, the degrading that we are witnessing in our communities. Let's not take it and play politics of it. I will entreat you to work with the government for us to ensure that we clear our waters. We have clean drinking water in our communities. This is not something that will be achieved in a day. It's not going to be achieved in a year. In fact, after the Second World War, Germany took 30 years to clean their waters, to clear their waters. But it is a commitment and a message that we are sending out to the public that what we are doing with our environment is wrong. And we must work on it and focus on it. And that's exactly the direction the president has given.
After my dear Hajia made this remark, I was monitoring the media to gauge the reactions because, as for me, it soothed my pains. After all, Kwame Nkrumah, he didn't do everything. But so hypocrisy in this town. All of them saying Hajia didn't speak well. And that her remarks exposes the level of unseriousness we attach to the fight. Even though I claim I will put my presidency on the line. But Mr. Speaker, to tell you the truth, Hajia's speech has been on replay in my car.
It's not something that will be achieved in a day. It's not going to be achieved in a year. In fact, after the Second World War, Germany took 30 years to clean their waters, to clear their waters.
Thank you. I know the support and praises I am enjoying from compatriots who should be accurately telling me the truth on the grounds and urging me to do more is paining a lot of people, especially the minority and the opposition.
Come to our agriculture. We have sanitized the banking sector. Our industrial transformation is on. We are digitizing the economy. And Ghana continues to be at peace. We have done much more than we inherited. We are creating conditions for young people to have hope again. and we are determined to do more.
Anyway, Mr. Speaker, I called the honorable member, Hajia, and immediately renamed her. Mr. Speaker, this house will recall that I am good at renaming people, things, and places, right? Yeah, so I renamed Hajia. Can you guess her name now? Well, I called her and said, Atajia, Min Chowdin Tattoo. How does it say? Ansan Wamu. Atajia.
I love what you doing. Sana would the end and I'm a feeling. I told you, when I would on a movie where you're part one. You're killing me. Fuck that. I told you, I know what you're doing. Can't try to I'm in Juni. You work more than a Louis. What's that, my dear?
Hajia, you do. So, Mr. Speaker, when my critics and even disappointed well-wishers are jabbing me left, right, and center, I remember appointees like Atajwa, and I go into a time of praise singing. To my maker. Mr. Speaker, you see, it's not easy. And people won't let me be. Besides attempts to strip me off the SDG advocate co-chair, people say, I should sack my globally renowned Sergeant Lee. You understand? Now thank Galamsey, and he has dropped the ball in the Galamsey fight. I won't sack him today. I won't sack him tomorrow. As for those threatening not to vote,
Come majara me wo vote na me nya wa no wa me fe ejageja wa me lowo ame wa me bi agbe kati ablochi no wo bi nye bie be won pin wa fe don wa vote wa moko che
wa vote. Don't worry about them. You see, by the time I visit all these people in their churches, their mosques, their markets, and so on, and even on campaign platforms, leave behind some 20 CDs behind. Tell them that free SHS is what I have done, and how John Mahama will come and collapse the unprecedented and biggest social intervention in Ghana. Then now we say, 4 more for Gala. 4 more for Gala. Look, Mr. Speaker, we have achieved a lot. Don't let people limit our attention to the Galamsey fight. I can see my own defense minister is yawning massively already while I am busy addressing the state of the Gala. No, but so, Mr. Speaker, let me take a break small, so that all those who are sleeping, you can finish when I return. 4 more for Gala. Welcome back. Mr. Speaker, I hope all those sleeping will indulge me a while longer. Mr. Speaker, I forgot to tell you something. I was recently in the OT region, and guess what? I didn't fail to deliver another promise the way the people were happy. I shocked them. OT University. Yeah, OT University is coming. Wait for it now. One of the critical issues that got us winning the trust of voters in the 2016 elections is unemployment and our promise to create more jobs. Even though NAPCO and Co are up and running, nearly every day beneficiaries are picketing here and there, demanding delayed allowances. Mr. Speaker, we have decided to launch the Youth in Cassette Sales, YICS, in a bid to create more success stories despite the odds. What a beautiful wording. Now, Youth in Scraps business want to me yips to create great businesses that will be stronger than apartheid. That is the state of the nation 4 years after this one. Now, Mr. Speaker, we are doing our best to fix roads in the country. Just that.
If it is year of roads, then we must see something on the road. But rather, we thought they are coming to, do the road for us. Rather, they come and worsen the situation. They have come and worsened it because this dust, we don't know where we are taking it. As you rightly see, if the cars pass, look at it. As if you are in the Sahara Desert. This is a rare descent because you can't just understand. If you step on it, you will see how your trousers and everything will be dirty. It's too much for us.
And you call this what?
It's a desert. It's a powder. Not even gravels. It's a powder that they put on the road.
Now some of the powder, no, they can be used for makeup. I don't remember why. Job creation opportunity. Anyway, Mr. Speaker, may I use this opportunity to repeat that what the Honorable Roads Minister, Terminator 1, has been appealing to contractors that they should consider working day and night. Is it so they can finish projects in time? Also, Mr. Speaker, Mfutrono is becoming too much from these road construction sites. Our contractors should consider watering the roads while works go on. Now, Mr. Speaker, away from the roads, Ghanaian students in China have been repeatedly appealing to be evacuated from Wuhan over the coronavirus scare. Mr. Speaker, is you.
We have a delicate situation on our hands, Mr. Speaker, and it does not benefit anybody to try to score points by introducing ill-judged politics into this ongoing medical conundrum and humanitarian tragedy. The government is in constant touch with experts on the subject, who advise that the basic principle of public health is to confine the disease to the area of its origin. But we have not ruled out the option of evacuating the students from Wuhan if that becomes necessary.
Mr. Speaker, it's only fair, right, for me to update Ghanaians on what has been going on in my own backyard ahead of the 2020 elections. Mr. Speaker, many bona fide members of the NPP desirous of contesting sitting MPs like some of my colleagues I came to meet in Parliament, I mean, they have been really stressed out in attempts to get common forms. Meanwhile, we say we are a democracy-loving political party. Mr. Speaker, it's a shame that some people had to enjoy some beatings along the line. I condemn these unfortunate incidences, but you see, we call it elephant mafia. Mr. Speaker, from my backyard, I know many Ghanaians want me to update them on what has become of my cleaner city promise, Charlie. I mean, the promise of making Accra a cleaner city in Africa, no? Mr. Speaker, for now, please, you dear, let's just say I have forgotten about it because, Charlie, Accra bought too much. Yeah, Accra, they smell. Mr. Speaker, so let's see if Ghanaians will forget and then give me a second term, then I will see what I will do. But then, Mr. Speaker, it is important for me to update Ghanaians on the Yedie Cooperative Union at the University of Ghana, Legon, where Side Guy Enterprise Kokomremre operates. So, Mr. Speaker, it happens that the people of Jampomeni and Butakokrom say even though their suspension is harsh, they accept it. So I just thought I should let you know. Again, Mr. Speaker, Dr. Bawumia has already said so much, so I don't want to repeat much of what he has said already. Besides, Ghanaians already know that our solution to unemployment is free SHS, bad roads, free SHS, everything is free SHS. And so it wasn't for nothing that I didn't mention anything relating to what will become of our free SHS graduates when they complete their WASI exams. I mean, in terms of accommodation to the various universities, the competition, I bet you're told brutally. But Charlie, Mr. Speaker, we can't do everything. You understand? Ghanaians must understand this. At least not everything in one day. You get me? But Mr. Speaker, permit me to say how excited I am at Citi TV's latest education program called Class Act. Mr. Speaker, I have a confession. Charlie, if not for this mathematics teacher called Joseph Abusaye, like by now, I am still on my feet of deck because of the mathematics. Oh, Mr. Joseph Abusa back in O'Reilly Senior High School. It looks like I'm wearing our uniform here. He conducted free vacation classes for us, like in December. And his brilliant approach for making math simple and understandable is how I escaped Novdek, just narrowly. So, Mr. Speaker, I therefore urge all parents and their wards to just drop their dial and throw their remotes away. Keep watching Citi TV because it's your world. It's your world.